Hey YouTube, welcome back. In this video we're going to look inside the box of this guy, which is the L-29 Delfin in 72nd scale by Eduard. Hey everybody, today we're going to take a look at this guy, which is the L-29 Delfin, the Eduard Profipack edition in 72nd scale. So Profipack basically means it has a few little goodies in there. Normally has color photo etch for the cockpit panel and a mask set. So let's take a look at, for a start, it's really nice like tiger meat markings in check. So this is kit number, I forgot to say, is 7096. So looking around the box, there's some other really nice markings in there too, which we'll look at a little bit later in the instructions. Now, this is a pretty cheap kit. I think that's about, for a Profipack, I think I paid about $20. Now, this is one of those things where I had a few other items I need to purchase, and I just added this to my cart to kind of make up the shipping. So, like I say, not very expensive kit at all, and for what you get, I think it's a pretty good value. So let's see what's inside the box. So, two-seater, obviously. And, oh, that is it. It's a small guy, right? I know it's 72nd scale, but that's kind of like, I haven't seen a kit this small since the Armor Hobby 72nd scale Hurricane. Okay, so I expect something a lot bigger than that. The wingspan's tiny. Okay, that's it. What else? You get your instructions with the clear parts. Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. And we've got some color photo etch we'll look at in a minute. Mask set. And a nice set of decals, and it looks like you get all the tiger markings too. Okay, so let's go through the instructions. It's a very big instruction book, I must say, for a tiny kit. It's like a proper full-on book. So, okay, so here's every colors. I mean, this book's kind of tiny, so I can't even read this myself. So if I zoom in, you can kind of see the colors right there. Okay, so looks like we start with the seat, some PE involved, and straps. It's like two seat, A and B, two seats, I'm guessing one for different types of seats. Then you're working on the instrument panel. Looks like it says the option here, you use a decal or a photo etch. And the cockpit tub. I think this is the AMK kit, so which Eduard taken. So these red parts are basically just sand off. So if you want to use the which we'll look at in more detail in a minute, but if you want to use these kind of like buttons and switches and stuff, the panels, you basically just sand off all the raised detail and then glue those down on top. So we're working on the cockpit still, adding the seats. Maybe the page goes over. It looks like we sandwiched that cockpit, and looks like the engine nozzle and a couple other parts inside the two fuselages get sandwiched together. Wings. Okay, this is another little nice touch here. It looks, even though it's tiny, look, you have a PE for the wings. So looks like you can do all the flaps and stuff, which we'll look at in a minute. I mean, that might be super tiny in 72nd scale to do that, but we'll take a look. Yeah, it's flaps down and up. Then I'm attaching the wings. Then the tail, T-tail. And the wheels and the landing gear, landing bay doors, looks like some speed brakes, thrust reversers, fuel tanks, canopy, and so it can be open or closed, so it's nice. This can be open to the side, so you actually get to see inside some of that beautiful detail in the cockpit. And touch out the mask set, where the masks go for the canopy. And here's a beautiful scheme. So we have the Czech Republic, 1993, in this yellow, or okay, I thought this was a different scheme, but it's the same. It's just showing you where the markings go for all tigers. So all the tiger stripes are individual decals, so you can see how many decals go on this, which looks like a lot of fun. So it's going to be yellow, just there the decals go on top. For some reason I thought it was a different scheme. Again, it shows you all the placement where these tiger markings go. which is nice because I mean I couldn't imagine painting all this, especially in semi-second scale. It'd be virtually impossible. So it's nice you actually get decals for it. And again, okay, now moving on to B. This is Slovak Republic, 1993. This looks really cool. See the wings there, red, white, and blue. This looks a really nice scheme as well. Okay, very cool. And there's really nice markings on this. And this one's the Hungary 78. That's really nice as well. D is USA, Reno Air Force Base. I'm just reading here. They used to train the Army and Navy elements by simulating incoming anti-shipping or air-to-surface rounds. So it's like an aggressor, basically. That's why they have the Russian thing on the back. And it looks like it's actually privately owned. American firm Tactical Air Services owns them. So yeah, so it's a privately owned aggressor, I guess, in the US. That's really nice as well. And finally E, more of a classical. This is Czechoslovakia 69 to 70. Which again is very nice. I mean, with sport for choice there, I think just because you have those decals, I'd be obliged to use the tiger markings, but these but all four of those look really nice actually. All right, cool. Stencils, more stencils, stencils, stencils. And stencils. So 5 pages stencil, 6 pages stencil, a lot of stencils. So basically half the book is building it, half the book is color schemes and placement of stencils. Alright, cool. Well, it looks really nice. So, I mean, while it's here, let's take a look at this stuff first. So we got the photo etch and a piece of film, just for the HUD or something. Looking really nice. Seat belts on various instrument panels, and that right there looks like for the wings, the flaps. So you've got to cut all this out, and then basically all these individual parts kind of fold back on themselves. But yeah, really nice. Oh, make sure I put the film in, don't lose it. Okay, die cut canopy mask, which is pretty much essential for me in 72nd scale. There's no way I can mask some of these complex canopies. And decals. How do we open this? Okay, so we have a sheet of all target markings. Very nice. And then here's the other markings and the stencils. So it looks like these are Eduard's own decals. I rant on this every time I do it now. They used to use Cartograph, they use their own. I mean, they're nowhere near as nice as Cartograph. The colours are there, they're a little bit patchy. They're not quite strong. That's kind of typical of the MO for Eduard decals. If you're doing weather kind of look or whatever, it's not a problem. But I mean, like this part right here, it's all kind of blotchy, the black. I'll be inclined to paint that. The Russian stars, again, look a little bit blotchy. And then the stencils are so tiny. I mean, you can see against my thumbnail here how small they are. I don't know if I've even bothered a lot of these, to be honest with you. You're not going to see them. Some white ones you might, but these are just tiny. And then there's the instrument panels. I think should you go that way, but I don't know why you would, because you have those beautiful color photo etch ones instead. So okay, that's that lot. What's here? Let's look at the clear parts. Again, marked AMK. It's an AMK kit. So we're expecting some nice crisp plastic, being AMK. And how do I get into it? No seam line, which is nice, and yeah, pretty good. The front part is frosted. That's obviously part of the panel, but the canopy itself looks nice. It's a few lights as well. You don't often get clear lights in semi-second scale kits, so that's a nice little extra as well. But yep, canopy looks okay. Back to the side, and down the plastic. So not much, just these 4 sprues, but okay, here's the fuselage. Probably only about 5 inches long, I'd guess. Really nice refined detail, very crisp, no flash as you expect from AMK. And then we're moving away around the sprue, some of the gear, the cockpit tub. Again, you can sand all this down and put the photo etch in if you're going that route. And the instrument panels. That's the side of the fuselage. Okay, very nice. The wings. Really nicely detailed again, very fine recessed lines. It's not big trench lines like you used to get with Ethics. The tail, another very nice sprue. There's a few ejection pin marks, small ones on the back, but you're not going to see any of that. Just my advice would be just to kind of sand these down, especially where the wings meet, so you don't get any kind of foul kind of joins and stuff. But generally, you know, all on the inside of the stuff, you're not going to see any of this stuff. Very nice. And two small ones. These are a matched pair. So, looks like you get a seat, fuel tank, and wheels. Looks like you have the inserts to go inside the wheel to help with painting. A couple of real tiny small parts. And that's a matched pair. So, that is it. I mean, there's not a ton of stuff in there, but plastic-wise, but I think for the value, for $20, you've got everything you need. You've got the mask set, you've got some nice decals, you've got some photo etch. Looks like a really nice kit. I'm not sure this is exactly one for a beginner. It might need, you know, especially looking at some of those flaps and the photo etch and stuff, it might need, you know, some a little bit more experience in modeling. But really striking scheme. AMK kit, which is Reebok's as a Profipack. Like I say, has everything you need and really beautiful markings. Just shame about those decals once again, Eduard. They're not quite up to par with the rest of them. But other than that, looks really nice. Recessed power lines look great. The kit is super tiny. I expecting a little bit bigger, but I think do a 48 scale one as well if you want to do something a little bit bigger than this one. But anyway, this is the L-29 Delfin. And again, I'm Richie from RW Hobbies. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.